Finally, a Colossal Problem is getting released into the official servers together with its own quest, and there's plenty you should know about this endgame public event. Let me guide you through it. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. After a few delays, the Colossal Problem is finally being added to the game, but not for everyone at the same time, sadly. A recent announcement made by Bethesda states that they are enabling the event on PC first to monitor some of the changes they made, and then by the end of the week Bethesda is releasing the new patch into consoles. They did not specify an exact date for the console release though. I guess they plan to disable the event on PC if the worst comes to happen. Well, to be honest with you, with all the issues I have encountered so far over the PTS, it is a possibility. Anyway, let's proceed. First, I will go over the new side quest called Something Sentimental, which is related to the freshly released event A Colossal Problem, which I will go over as well, detail by detail, so let's start. Alright, the new quest is lore related and it's really easy to do. Still, I will show you all the steps in case you get bugged or stuck somewhere. It happens often. As soon as you log in, you will see a new missed quest to talk to Maggie about the Monogah mine. So head to the Foundation and you can find her at the right entrance. This new NPC has plenty of lore dialogues to introduce you to this new location and what happened there exactly. However, you eventually have to agree to help her if you want to proceed with the quest. She wants you to retrieve her father's belongings, who got trapped inside the mine a long time ago. To clear the rubble, she suggests you to launch a nuke. Strangely enough, I mean, launching a nuclear nuke would probably make the mine collapse, not open an entrance, but never mind realism here. So you need to launch a nuke at the Monogah mine yourself or wait for another player to do so. Either way, once you get inside, you should pick this holotape with her father's goodbye wishes. You can retrieve it back later. There are also 3 lore notes inside the mine related to the horrors which Williams lived during the time he was trapped underground. Feel free to stop the video if you wish to read them one by one. The first one is located in the lockers past the wine barrel where the holotape is. The second is inside the mobile car, and the last one is near the armor and weapon stations around the robot pods. Anyway, you now have to complete the event in order to proceed with the quest, so make yourself comfortable inside the mine. When you are done, all you have to do is return to Maggie and then decide to lie or tell the truth. Either way, the rewards are basically symbolic. You only get a few caps and some experience, that's all. As I said before, it's a lore quest. Now the fun begins. To start a Colossal Problem, you need to launch a nuke at the Monogah mine, as I already mentioned. The event starts once the nuke hits the mine, just like Scorched Earth starts when a nuke hits the prime fissure. Once you choose to join the event, you will be teleported inside the mine. The way is always forward. Just follow the train track until you see a mobile car and a blocked wall. You have a few minutes to prepare for the big fight, then the wall will open up and you can descend into a huge room where you can find the new boss, Earle Williams. Now keep in mind this event works in dungeons or an instance of 8 players max. Don't worry, if one instance gets full, another one will open. This way everyone in the server gets a chance to join the event, and that's great. Now, you may be wondering, what's the cooldown for this event? Well, there is no cooldown in theory. Just like Scorched Earth, you can start the event as long as you can launch a nuke. Too bad, each server has a silo cooldown, so yeah, you can launch 3 nukes, which can start 3 events, and then you should change servers if you want to keep going. Earle Williams is a very special Wendigo Colossus. He is a true bullet sponge, literally. Moreover, there can be only 8 players doing this event at a time, so the player damage is quite limited in a Colossal Problem. To ensure you can complete the event, there are several strategies you can use. First of all, I recommend using a long-range weapon here. Melee and shotguns are not a wise choice since you need to get close to the boss, which can easily get you killed. Either way, if you have a shotgun or a melee build and you are not able to use anything else, just try your best to kite as much as possible to dodge the Colossus skills, which are quite a few as you can see. Go around him in circles, hit and run, and retreat when your HP is low. Don't forget to spam steam packs when you see your HP is going down. For ranged builds, you can easily use the middle structures as cover if the Wendigo is targeting you. You should also run and kite in larger circles, if you are the target of course. If the Wendigo is not on you, please fire as much as you can, always aiming at one of his 3 heads to do additional damage, so you have plenty of choice there. Just aim for the one that is easier for you. Now for bloodied builds, I suggest you heal some rads for this event because playing with around 30 to 50% HP is the safest thing to do in my opinion. After all, this room has a list of things that can easily kill you. It's really not just the boss and his high damage. So yes, if you come here with 10% HP, you shouldn't expect to live long. Keeping your distance and a strategic approach around the middle area are the 2 key elements to easily complete this event in my view. What about the Wendigo Spawns though? Well, we have to jump to the next point to check that out. During the event, dozens of Wendigo spawns will randomly appear around the room. They are all level 75, quite resilient actually, so you need to keep the swarm under control. I wouldn't say focus on the spawns at all times, but make sure they don't stack up in numbers too much. One thing is fighting 2 or 3, another is fighting 10 at once. These creatures can easily disable or even kill you, especially if you are running in fear. So don't disregard them, or else you might regret it. Anyway, the good part here is that they drop screws, acid, and even aid items, as well as something precious. Ammo. Yep, Wendigo spawns have a slight chance to drop the ammo you use to kill them. I would say 1 in 5 Wendigo spawns drop ammo, between 10 to 20 bullets normally, including ultra sight in case you were wondering. So make sure to check their bodies and meat piles during the fight, whenever you can of course, but make sure you do so before the Earle gets killed, because after that you kinda have to rush out or you're going down. Besides fighting the Earle and the Wendigo spawns, there is something else you need to fight, all the environmental traps Bethesda added to this room. Make sure to revive other players, by the way. Don't forget, 1 less damage dealer can make the difference in an 8-man instance. Okay, first of all, we have the falling roof with rocks on fire. These sort of rifts open randomly, they are not static, and they do a lot of damage as you can see. So avoid running through them and stay away in case fear leads you towards this hazard. Ideally, you want to stay close to empty walls or obstacles that may block you from randomly stepping into lethal damage, such as acid spots. They can be found in the very center of the room and at some of the edges. They also do a lot of damage, as you can see in the footage. Fire cracks on the floor are also another type of environmental trap that could get you killed, at least they are not as deadly. Lastly, we have the massive drill, which will obliterate you if you come anywhere close to it, as shown in this test. Running into it in fear is not so uncommon, surprisingly. Even with half HP, you die within a second, and that's scary. Dangerous stuff, huh? So you can die all of a sudden, you know. One moment you're fine, then you get feared, you run into the drill, and yeah, you're dead. So yes, positioning is very important and it can dictate if you live or die. Alright, before the boss goes down, make sure to track him because he drops loot just like any other Wendigo Colossus. You can collect 50 to 500 caps at once, as well as a random legendary item, screws, acid, his sack, and so much more. Then it's time to run for your life. Literally, sprint towards the surface, follow the train tracks if you are not sure where to go. The way is always forward, it's quite straightforward really. During your run, things will explode, Wendigo Spawns will chase you down and things get really chaotic, but don't worry, just keep going. However, don't let it stop you from looting the industrial trunk located in a room close to the entrance. It's locked when you come in, but it unlocks once the boss dies. You can usually find some extra caps, random ore, some grenades and aid items inside. It's not much, but it surely helps. Oh, and it has a slight chance to spawn a cursed weapon if I'm not mistaken. After looting, head outside and wait for the event to complete itself for the new and exciting rewards. What rewards are we talking about exactly? Well, they are very similar to Scorched Earth, except they are better. You get the same 200 caps as a start, some random stable flux, a random 3 stars legendary item, 8 treasury notes, that's the most from any event in-game, and an unique rare plan. There are several new floor decor items, a new deep mining gas mask, and 3 new cursed weapons. As shared by the data miner Gilpo, the chances are quite low, between 5% and 18% each. Well, the good thing is that you will eventually collect everything by doing this event over and over. I can show you a few already, such as the Wendigo Colossus Plushie, which is medium sized and it's really cute, as you can see. The Wendigo rug, on the other hand, needs a lot of space to place. It looks really intriguing though, and it's charming for a raider's camp, for example. Now, the Wendigo heads is the real deal. It features a green, an orange, and a red head on some sort of wooden stake. They have a badass dynamic effects as well, with colored smoke and glowing colors. I really like it, especially during the night. There's also the meat pile with all its gore attached to it. Finally, there are the new cursed weapons. I managed to get only the pickaxe so far on the PTS, but there is a shovel and a harpoon gun as well. They are strong weapons, surprisingly. I can want to hit most enemies with the pickaxe, the irony really. I am assuming the latest will be used a lot from now on because people tend to like the harpoon already, so if the weapon is also viable, I can see people going for it as well. Now it's time for some bad news. I can't lie to you here, there is quite a few heavy issues related to the event A Colossal Problem. I have tested the event with update 22 already, and most bugs from the previous build are still there. The first one is when certain players are unable to join the event for some reason, either because a new instance doesn't open up or because something went wrong with your game. It's a rare bug at least, so your entire team might be inside doing the event, but you cannot join. The entrance will be blocked to you and the event icon will not show up no matter what you do. But as I said, it doesn't happen that often, so at least that. Next, we have the persistent respawn bug. It's natural to die during this event, it is how it is. After all, even the walls can kill you. However, you don't always respawn properly, and when this bug triggers, you are literally screwed. First, because you are forced to respawn elsewhere since you can't respawn inside again. When you come back, the entrance will be blocked with rocks and there's no way to get inside. Now, if you died while your boss was dead already, you will lose the chest loot, but you can still earn the event rewards if you wait. On the other hand, if one of the instances finishes the event, by the time you get back, the event will be over for them and there's no rewards for you. It works in a strange way here. In the end, there's different outcomes for this bug, but all of them end up with you losing part of the loot, and that's really discouraging for the player. The worst part is that this bug triggers rather often, and it forces players to play in fear of dying all the time. And there's nothing you can do about it, so yeah. You either lose all the rewards or wait at the door for minutes until other players complete or fail the event. Lastly, we have probably the most game-breaking issue for this event so far. I will call it the lag spot, and basically what happens is when there's dozens of meat piles, the graphics get messed up. They don't render properly anymore, so you will lag like hell and you will see everything pixelated. I know this happens for other events already, like Line in the Sand and Radiation Rumble, but in here it is much worse, as you can see, and things get unplayable. It becomes chaotic, so this new bug is triggering more and more often to the point where players simply cannot move or fight anymore. In this event, for example, we were all walking like drunk men and dying constantly. We could hardly kill the Wendigo Spawns around us, even less hit the Colossus properly. To be honest with you, rotating my screen was a challenge, so yes, as you can imagine, we ended up failing the event here because it was unplayable down there. There are multiple reports of this bug, and I do believe this will become a more serious issue in the following weeks. A Colossal Problem is surely a challenging and entertaining event. It forces you to come up with a strategy and to play more carefully than you usually do. It includes team play, cooperation, and on top of that, you get some awesome rewards for completing the experience. It's a great addition to the game, with no doubt. However, all the issues affecting this new event can be highly demotivating and a great source of frustration. In fact, some bugs are creating boundaries between players. They can dictate if a player can or cannot participate in the event, and that's everything but acceptable. So hopefully Bethesda will come up with a solution to make things fair, to make the event work as intended. For the time being, that's everything I have for you regarding a Colossal Problem. I hope you could learn plenty of new things about this new event. I am Marta Branco, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also, you can support me even further if you want, the links are right below the channel. Well, I will see you guys and girls very soon in the next one. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!